Hello dear students, welcome to English grammar class. I hope all of you are doing well. So students, in this video I shall be continuing with chapter 3rd, that is verbs, tenses. So students, in the previous video I explained you the first two categories of past tense, that is simple past tense and past continuous tense. And in this video, I'll start with the third subcategory of past tense, that is past perfect tense. So students, past perfect tense shows an action completed at some point in the past before another action began. It means two actions are involved. Before the second action began, see, this is the first action, this is the second action. So before this action began, the first action was done, the first action was complete. So it shows an action completed at some point in the past before another action began. So before this another action began, the first action was already done, the first action was already finished. So this is past perfect tense. Or students, you can say that past perfect tense is used to show the sequence of two or more events or actions in the past. Means two actions are done, two actions are taking place. So you can say that it shows the sequence of two or more events in the past, and that also in the past. Now let me tell you the structure of past perfect tense, that how to frame a sentence using past perfect tense. So the structure is subject plus had plus V3 plus object. Subject plus had. Students, please remember that in case of past perfect tense we use had. We use had. Subject plus had plus the third form of the verb plus object. I have already explained you about the third form of the verb, that is V3, which we also called V3 as past participle. So the structure is subject plus had plus past participle or V3 plus object. Now students, let us see some examples. So the flight had landed when I reached. Now students, let's see some examples. So the first example is the flight had landed when I reached the airport. See, two actions are done. The flight had landed, this is the first action, and the second action is when I reached the airport. It means that before I reached the airport, the first action was done. That means the flight had already landed. So before the second action began, the first action was already completed. So this is past perfect tense. Another example, my mother had cooked dinner when my father reached home. So before the second action before the second action began, the first action was already completed. So I hope that past perfect tense is clear to everybody. Now students, let's move to the last subcategory of past tense, that is past perfect continuous tense. Now what is this past perfect continuous tense? Students, past perfect continuous tense is used to report an action or event that occurred before a certain point in the past and the effects of which are still visible when we refer to the past. It means that a particular event or action, it already occurred in the past, at some point of time in the past, but the effects of that action is still visible. The effects are still visible, or the effects are still or we can still feel the effects. So this is past perfect continuous tense. Or you can say that it is used to show that an action was going on in the past when a second action or the second one took place. Now let me tell you the structure of past perfect continuous tense. So the structure is subject plus had been plus ing form of verb plus object. So in case of past perfect continuous tense, we use subject plus had been plus ing form of the verb plus object. Now for example, I had been cleaning my room when I heard my friend's voice. I had been, see, had is used, had been cleaning. Clean is the verb and ing is added to clean, which makes it cleaning. Next example, the girl had been flying kites since childhood. Means since childhood she is flying, or she had been flying kites, means now also she flies kites. So I hope that past perfect continuous tense and all the other subcategories of past tense are clear to everybody. Now students, let's come to the third type of tense, that is future tense. This is the last type. Future means the action has not happened yet, the action has not taken place yet, but it is likely to occur in the near future. So future tense is used to indicate an action that is yet to take place, means it has not taken place yet and it will be taking place in the near future. And with future tense we use the verbs will and shall. We use will and shall with future tense with the root form of the verb. Here we do not add s or es or ed. Here the root form of the verb is used along with will or shall to indicate an action in future tense. So students, future tense also has 4 subcategories. The first one is simple future tense, the second one is future continuous tense, the third one is future perfect tense, and the fourth one is future perfect continuous tense, as you can see here. So let's start with the first one, that is simple future tense. Now students, let's come to the first one, that is simple future tense. This is the first subcategory of future tense. So simple future tense is used to describe things that will happen as a regular phenomenon or as a habitual thing, means an action that is going to happen in the future as a regular habit or as a habitual thing or a regular phenomenon. For example, the maid will come in the evening, means she will come in the evening. Now she has not come, she will come in the evening. And whenever we talk about some definite action expected to take place, which is expected to take place in the future, we simple future tense is used. First of all, to describe a regular phenomenon that is going to take place in the future, we use simple future tense. And secondly, to talk about some definite action that is expected to take place in the future. For example, the school will reopen tomorrow. The school will reopen means surely it is going to reopen tomorrow. Now let me tell you the structure of simple future tense. So the structure is subject plus will or shall plus the root form of the verb plus object. Here we use the root form of the verb along with will or shall. Now students, will is used with generally will is used with I or we. Sorry, please cut that line please. Now students, now let me tell you the usage of will and shall. So shall, students, we use shall with I or we. With I or we generally use shall, and with the rest subjects and with the rest of the subjects we use we. But nowadays now people use will with I or we also. It is not wrong. You can use will with I or we also, but grammatically we use shall with I or we. So I hope that simple future tense is clear to everybody. Now let's move to the second subcategory of future tense, that is future continuous tense. Students, Now students, future continuous tense is used to express an action that will be going on at some time in the future. Means it is used to express an action that will be in progress in the future. Continuous means in progress, in continuation. So the action will be in progress in the future. And the structure of future continuous tense will be subject plus will be or shall be plus ing form of the verb plus object. Subject plus will be or shall be. Here we use be plus ing form of verb plus object. This is the structure of future continuous tense. Now let me give you some examples. Ruchi will be going to the mall tomorrow. She will be going. The action she will be going. We shall be going to Paris for the summer vacation. We shall be going means that action will be done, that will be in continuation in the future. So I hope that future continuous tense is clear to everybody. Now let's move to the third subcategory of future tense, that is future perfect tense. Now students, future perfect tense expresses an action that will be completed at a given point of time in future. Means that action, that work, that action that will be completed at a given point of time in the future. Means sometime at a given time it will be completed in the future. And the structure of future perfect tense is subject plus will have or shall have plus past participle form of verb, that is V3 plus object. Here we use have with will or shall. So subject plus will have or shall have plus past participle form, that is third form of the verb plus object. For example, the teacher will have checked the papers by next weekend. The teacher will have checked means in the past, at some time in the past, the work, the action will be completed. The action will be complete. Next example, we shall have finished our homework by the time father comes home. Means at some time means when father will come home, by that time we shall finish our homework. We shall have finished our homework by the time father comes in. And finished means the third form of the verb is used, that is past participle. So I hope that future perfect tense is clear to everybody. Now students, let's move to the last subcategory of future tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. Now what is this future perfect continuous tense? Future perfect continuous tense is used to denote a continuous action, so it is used with reference to some time in future. It is used to denote a continuous action with regard or with reference to some time in the future. And the structure of future perfect continuous tense is subject plus will or shall plus have been. Here been is also added to have. So subject plus will or shall plus have been plus ing form of verb plus object. Now let me tell you some examples. The first one, we will have been reading about the accident in the newspaper next morning. We will have been reading means the action is in continuation in the future, means next morning, in the future with reference to the morning. The action will have been, sorry please cut that line. We will have been reading about the accident means that we will be reading, when we will be reading in the newspaper next morning means with regard to morning, with regard to some time in the future. Next example, they will have been touring the country for several days. They will have been touring the country for several days means the work will be done with regard to some future time. That means for several days the work will be in continuation. So I hope that future perfect continuous tense is clear to everybody, and not only this, the complete chapter, all the tenses and all the subcategories are clear to everybody. So students, I hope and I expect that all of you will solve the exercises that are given. I hope that all, so students, I expect that all of you will solve the exercises that are given in the chapter. So till then, thank you so much. Please study properly, work hard and be safe. Thank you.